Hi everyone, today we have an annuity question. So when Daniel retires, he invests $400,000 in an annuity fund that earns interest at a nominal rate of 4.5% per year, compounded monthly. Daniel then withdraws $3,600 at the end of each month to pay for his living expenses. Find out how much is in the annuity fund after 5 years. Well, firstly, what is an annuity fund? It's just a financial tool where you put money in and you are paid out with steady cash flow. So oftentimes insurance will do it. For the context of this, you just need to know that he's putting in a lump sum, he's earning some interest, and he's taking out payments every month. So let's go to the finance part of my calculator, and this is the page that you get to, and we want the compound interest page. So compound interest, N is going to be 60. Why is N 60? Because we have 5 years and it says compounded every month. So 5 times 12 is 60. Next. And by the way, you need to write all of these things down in order to get full marks. So I would need to literally write, if I'm answering it up here, let's say, I would need to write N equals 60. And then the interest rate equals 4.5 and all of these things. You need to write down all of the inputs that you're putting into the calculator. Okay, coming back to this, interest rate is 4.5% per year. In my calculator, you just keep it as the annual interest rate. Present value is 400,000. It's positive. You have to be a bit careful with the positives and negatives. I'll explain it again in a second and I'll show you two different ways. But he is putting in 400,000, so we're keeping that as positive 400,000. The payment is negative 3,600 because he's taking $3,600 out. So he is subtracting, he's taking that out. The future value is the thing that we are trying to solve for. So it says find out how much is in the annuity fund. We want to know what the future value is. We don't know what it is yet. So leave that. The payments per year is 12 because it says he's withdrawing 3,600 at the end of every month. The compounds per year is also 12 because it says compounded monthly, and that is it. Now remember I said we wanted to solve for the future value. So now at the top you press F5 for future value. And I'll write it down here. We get A. The future value is 258,994. We want three significant figures, so it is 259,000. Now, I know this says negative on the calculator, but watch what happens. This is kind of one of the nuances on the calculator. So if I press exit, if I make the present value negative 400,000, and then if I made the payments positive 3,600, now if I solve for the future value, it's giving me the same number, but now it's positive. So this is one of the nuances of the calculator. You need to do lots of questions so you become familiar with which is negative, which is positive. I know it is a little bit confusing. Let's just change this back before I confuse myself. So negative 3,600. That is for part A. Remember, you need to show all of the inputs that you're putting, and you should also put something like GDC, use compound interest, finance, and then list out all of the key information. Okay, part B. Calculate how many times Daniel is able to make these withdrawals. So now I don't know what N is. So I'm going to put 0, but we're trying to solve for n. The future value is no longer going to be 258,000. It's going to be 0, because when he runs out of money, that's going to be how many times until he, that's going to be the number of months until he runs out of money. I didn't quite say that well enough, but you kind of get the idea. We want him to run out of money, and how long it is going to take, that is what B is asking. So I'm going to change my future value to 0. I am going to solve for n. So if I press n and I get n is 144. Again, you would need to show all of the correct inputs. So you would need to write this again. The interest rate is 4.5, yada, 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 all of the different values. You would need to show all of those. So n is 144. Calculate how many times Daniel is able to make these withdrawals. The answer for that one is 144.